that there's going to at least one person in the webinar or somebody that's going to be watching this that knows absolutely nothing about Keepa. And so I am going to start at the very beginning. I'm not going to spend a ton of time going through the basics, but I do want to give a very thorough walkthrough and kind of, a rundown from, start to finish with Keepa. And so what you're seeing on the screen here is the Chrome Web Store. Keepa is two things. It is a Chrome extension, but it's also its own standalone website. And so if you're not using the Chrome extension every day in your Amazon business while you're looking at Amazon product pages, then you need to download the Chrome extension. It is free. You just won't be able to access all the different features that it has. All right, so if you don't have the Chrome extension already, you need to go to the Chrome Web Store where I'm at. Just Google Chrome Web Store. And then up here at the top, you just want to search for Keepa. All right, I already have it added to Chrome here, but you're just gonna, if you don't have it already, just click that Add to Chrome button and it'll add it up here to the very top of your screen. And we'll show you in a second what it does. All right, so I'm gonna go and just show you several different products that I already have pulled up on my computer. And we're just gonna kind of walk through the graphs and look at what they tell us. All right, so the very first product. There's a couple stories behind the Coco guitar. The Coco guitar, Lance and I were talking about it before the webinar kicked off. But this Coco guitar was a clearance item at Toys R Us last year when they were going out of business. For whatever reason around my area, people weren't buying them. These are one of the last things that were left on the shelf, and I couldn't believe it, and I second-guessed myself about it. But I just kept on looking at the Keepa data and what it was telling me, and it was telling me to buy. All right, so if we look back over the last year, last April and March, all right, this item went to almost $110. And what you have to understand with Keepa is that every Keepa graph is telling a story. All right, so when you look at this graph right here, what you're seeing here is the price shooting up, and then the very bottom graph is the offers graph. I can minimize this by going to less historical data. For whatever reason, most people, when they use Keepa, they just use this top graph. And I like to tell people that if you're only using the top graph, then you're missing half the information. You really, really, really need to be looking at this more historical data at the second graph to get the full picture of what's going on with the product and really understand the story that's going on with this product. Now the more historical information here at the bottom, the second graph, that is something that is paid now. You have to pay the monthly fee or the yearly fee to get this information. All right, well, we'll talk more about that in a second. All right, so what's happening here? What's happening in March of 2018 here is Easter. Easter is going on, sales pick up, the price skyrockets here, and the number of sellers goes down. All right, what's happening here in April is that Toys R Us is starting to clearance this item. I want to say that this was like $30, $35 MSRP in Toys R Us. And what's happening here is people are starting to buy it at Toys R Us because they're scanning it in store for $35 or, on a 10% discount. And they're seeing that it's selling for $90 to $85. And the number of sellers skyrockets up and the price plummets down. All right, and then you get to mid-May. Mid-May, this item at Toys R Us was at 50% off, and the product had gone from $110 to $42. Now, when you scan this in store, because it's an oversized item, you're not making 100% ROI buying at $17.50, selling for $42, selling an oversized item. You're making around $10, $12 in profit. And I can only guess that that was the reason that people left them. I really don't know. But I was finding tons of these. I was telling Lance, I bought over 200 of these just driving around to various Toys R Us stores in my state and in Virginia.
So quickly here, Greg, quickly here. What was it that made you make that purchase despite everybody else like leave it in the store? What was that trigger? I mean, the audience would love to know, like, what is it that makes you say, hey, this is a good one?
All right. So when I scan this in store, I see that it's selling for $42 and, I'm buying it for $17.50. I can make some profit now, but I look at Keepa graphs in store. I always want to look back. All right. And so when I looked at this in store, I saw that just 2 months beforehand, this was selling for 110. If I look back at the entire graph, I saw that historically, before that, it had been selling in the 50s and it had spiked to in the 80s back in around Christmas and, Black Friday. And so if I can make money at the historical price, then it's a definite buy. And then these spikes are nothing but gravy. But when I see spikes that are, happening multiple times, then, that's a trigger for me to buy. All right. Give me 1 second to get some water. All right. So I like to buy and hold things. And so I held it pretty much all summer. And then all of a sudden, this thing shoots up into $80 around Halloween. Now I sold a ton in that $80 price point, but I got kind of greedy. I was thinking that it was going to go back to the $100 price point for Christmas. And what happened was that, it was done selling at Toys R Us. Toys R Us is closed by now. And the Disney store came in stock. And this is what you see when you see all these sellers come on, is that people are seeing it at Disney store for $30. It was selling at $85, and all these people come in stock. And excuse me. All these people come in stock, and the price comes down. All right. What you would normally want to see is when this graph, the number of sellers graph, goes down, you want the price to be going up. When the price doesn't go up, that most likely means that somebody that has this item at this price point has a ton of them. All right. Because if the price is not going up, there's somebody that's keeping the price stable. All right. Normally you want to see what's happening here. You see what's happening here, where the price is going down as the number of sellers goes up, and vice versa. When the sellers go down, the price goes up. But it doesn't happen on this side. The price kind of stabilizes, and it's actually gone down as the sellers have gone down. That's because somebody that's still holding that, somebody that's still selling that, has a very, very large stock. All right. Any questions about that item? Anybody? While we're looking at this, I'm going to explain what all this stuff is.
Someone just mentioned Kirk White. He was asking about the boxes.
Yeah, the little triangles too, I think he said, right?
Yeah, the orange triangles, yeah. What do those represent? Kind of just like walking through, right there, new, used, walking through that is an indicator to tell persons what it means, what they mean.
All right, usually there's an Amazon thing right here where I can click, but Amazon's never been on this, so there's not an option. But the new, I can click and turn off these things when I click on these circles. So I can make the graph completely blank if I want to. All right, this sales rank graph is behind the paywall. If you want to see the sales rank graph, you have to pay the monthly fee, and it's probably the most valuable piece of information. All right, so if you want to use it for free, you're going to still get the triangles are third-party FBA. All right, this is what people that have it at FBA are selling it for.
So that's us. So guys, that's us, the third-party guys. We are in the triangle. That's us.
Yep. And this is also us. This is third-party merchant fulfilled, or fulfilled by merchant, or is the blue squares. All right, and we want to be looking at the new price. All right, so that's basically all that that you're going to be able to see with the free version. You're not going to be able to see the sales rank graph. All right, the sales rank graph is important because every time this green line moves up and down, or actually moves down, indicates a sale. And this is a really good example of what you want a graph to look like. You want to be able, or you don't want to be able to count how many times this green line moves up and down. You want it to be moving so fast and so tight that you can't count how many sales are happening. So you see here, when it's new to market, you can kind of count how many times it's going up and down. But once it gets established as a listing, then this thing just tanks. I mean, the sales rank, just comes all the way down, and it gets indexed, and it stays pretty steady. And we're going to look at some different ones, and you'll be able to understand the difference in a little bit. Down here at the bottom, this is stuff you can't see without paying, but this is how many new offers are, like how many people are selling it as new, how many people are selling it as used. I can turn this on, and this is the number of ratings that the product is getting over time, and the review count, how many stars, it's getting, how many people are reviewing it and stuff. So lots of cool information. All right. Let's dive into the next product. All right. This is actually a bolo. So you might want to write this one down if you have ollies in your area. This is a toy that ollies came in stock last fall. And again, this is one where, it doesn't look too exciting when you scan it in store, because when ollies came in stock in the fall, they're only selling it for $8. And when you scan it with your Amazon app, Amazon's selling it for $15. So most people walk away, they don't pay attention to it. They leave it on the shelf, and they don't know what they've just passed up. All right. If you're looking at Keepa charts in the store, then you would know that just a couple months beforehand, this thing was selling for $70. All right. And you're buying it for $8 in ollies. All right. And this is not just a one-time thing. If you look back at the history, you can see back here in 2015, it was going up into the 40s and 50s. Back in 2016, it's getting up into 25, 27. It spikes numerous times. I mean, $70 is kind of an anomaly, but if you're buying it for $8 and you can get it up into the $30 range, then that's really good money. All right. And you can see why the Keepa graph tells a story. Like I said, you can see why it went up to $60 and $70, because nobody had it. You see down here at the offers graph, there's only one or two people down here that are even have it available for sale. And so they're naming their price on a really, popular item. And so they're able to get that very high price point. All right. But if you're just, like I said, if you're scanning stuff in store and you're seeing that it's break even, and you're not looking at the Keepa graph, looking at the historical data, I guarantee you're walking by gold all the time that you could just, buy and hold for a short time period, and you'd be able to make really good money if you're patient. This one actually just went out of stock. If we look in the past week, it went out of stock on March 10th. All right. And you can see that already somebody's selling it for $25. I guarantee you there's an ollie store somewhere in this country that still has these available from Christmas. All right. All right. There's a couple other things I just want to show you so you can kind of understand Keepa graphs. This is one that probably most of you are familiar with. This was a bolo from Christmas this past Q4. This is the JoJo Siwa doll, My Life doll that Walmart had. It's a Walmart exclusive. But I want to show you again down here this offers graph. You can see, can everybody see right here what happens on like December 16th? You see how the number of offers goes from 199, and then all in a day, it like jumps straight up, like 20 extra people jump on the listing. All right. What's happened? There was actually multiple listings of this doll on Amazon, and Amazon, for the most part, does not like that. They don't want two product pages of the same product. The product needs to be different in some way or another to have a different product page. People create different product pages for various reasons. Sometimes it's to get around restrictions. Sometimes it's to get around all the competition on the listing. Sometimes they, are bundling it with something, and that's all. Bundling is fine, but creating a different product page just to create one sometimes is frowned upon by Amazon. And what they will do is, if they catch it, they will merge the listings together. So when you see these straight lines shoot up like this, that most likely that's what's happening. Somebody probably fought it right here and got them dropped and had the listing reinstated because they did something creative with it to make it different, and vice versa. You know, these straight lines up and down. All right. So if you see that, that's what's going on. I just want to take a minute to explain what you're seeing there on those graphs. All right. Again, I want to take a minute to explain. This was the famous gold egg that everybody in the BOLO groups was chasing during Black Friday. Again, this is a perfect buy and hold item. Amy, if you're on the listing, I hope you haven't sold all your eggs yet, because these things are going even higher. These things have jumped from 77 to 97 within the last week or so. But again, I don't want to explain what you're seeing here with the number of sellers graph. If everybody remembers, back when these things were listed in November, for whatever reason, they were hazmat to start off with, and everybody had to do all that paperwork. And when you see this number of sellers graph go up here on the 23rd, that's what's happening. Amazon has just, kind of released the restrictions on it. All the FBA offers are coming on all at one time. Again, there's some kind of something going on here, but this is everybody coming on to the listing. All right, that's why it's so important to have this bottom graph that you have to pay for now, as you can understand the story behind what's happening with the price and the number of sellers and how they coordinate together. All right. I've said it in the buy and hold mastermind group. I think these things are going to go crazy for Easter, just because it's an egg toy. So if you still have some of these around, I would highly recommend holding them for at least another month for Easter.
Yeah, I think these are going to go very well for the Easter holiday because it's an egg. Yeah, goes right in. Allison asked, can you show us the name of this product again, please? I'm not sure if it was the one you just talked about a while ago.
Oh, it's the BOLO I was saying? Yeah. It's the Fisher-Price Aquanauts claw and drill play set. It's not that big. It's kind of small, like I said, but I guarantee you there's an ollie somewhere with some of these still. All right, this is a good. This one actually does have Amazon on the listing, so this is a good opportunity. You can see this orange circle right here. Whenever you see the orange area shaded, that means that Amazon is in stock. All right, and I like this is a good lesson. A lot of people say, well, I'm not going to sell it if Amazon's on it. I always tell people, if you have margins to sell, then sell. Like if you're buying this for $3 and Amazon's selling it for $15, and you can make, $4 or $5 in profit, then I'm going to sell this all day against Amazon. And this is proof right here. With the number of sellers graph, you can see that Amazon is in stock for $15 this whole time right here, but the number of sellers is going down, which means that Amazon is allowing sellers to price match their price and is giving them the buy box. Otherwise, the number of sellers wouldn't be going down. Amazon would be taking all the sales themselves, but they're not. All right, so that's a good example right there of, selling with Amazon and an understanding if Amazon is out of stock. All right. All right, this is an old toy. Probably nobody else is probably going to find this. I got lucky the other day, or I guess I created my own luck, as some would say. All right, I found this in a very rural Walmart like a month ago. All right, this Transformers helmet is from 2012. All right, and Lance and I were talking about this one day on the phone, is that, Walmart has all this like random stuff in the back of their stores that they just forget's there. Like, I just think that they're stored in boxes somewhere, and then they open them up and they're like, oh, we never put this out, 7 years ago. We need to put this out on the floor. And I stumbled upon two of these things, and when I walked up on it, I was like, I've never seen this in a Walmart store before. What's this thing? When I scanned it and I looked at the Keepa chart, Amazon hasn't been in stock since 2012. All right. But when I scanned it, it has a rank, like I said, the current rank is 460,000 in toys. All right. most people are going to say $460,000, 460,000 sales rank in toys is horrible. I would never want to sell something with that sales rank. All right. But you have to understand why it is ranked that high. And it's ranked that high because it's 7 years old and nobody has it. All right. This thing will sell for $150 all day long. All right. When it's available. All right. And Keepa tells us that. All right. And I have a couple of them at my house. Probably going to save them until Christmas and see what happens. May sell them now. I don't know. But, in case you don't believe me.
There it is.
I like that.
That is great, Greg. I tell you what, man, it's funny you mentioned that. I bought out a bunch. Is there an echo? I feel like there's an echo.
I don't hear an echo.
Okay, probably just on my side. But anyhow, I did a buyout for my neighbor's house, and they had a business like kind of like where they would play board games with other people interested in a certain kind of games they had, and they would market those games. And he was no longer pursuing the business, so I bought out a bunch of stuff from him. And a lot of the board games he had were like 400, 500,000 ranks. I sold every one of those things, man, because they probably, just like what you said, maybe in 2014, 15, Amazon jumped off them. But if the reviews are there, I'm sure this one probably has a ton of reviews.
Yeah, 92.
Yeah, I mean, 92 reviews didn't come out of the air. There was a time where this thing was on fire, and then it went out of stock. So it's funny you mentioned you're walking through Walmart. You just know when that product doesn't belong. If you're doing this all the time, you see it, you're like, wait a minute, I know there's something to that.
Yeah, exactly. And, like you said, the sales rank, it doesn't matter if there's nobody to sell it, because the sales rank is going to continue just to climb if it's not getting any sales. It goes up and down with sales, but if it doesn't have any sales, it's just going to continue to climb until it can sell again. All right. So that's what you're seeing there. And so don't just dismiss something because it has a high sales rank. Take the time to look at the Keepa chart and understand why that is happening. All right. I want to take a couple minutes and show you the different features of one of the products here. Let me get where I can see it. All right. So on the Keepa chart, down here, there's like a bunch of tabs that you can see above the chart. And each one of these things does a different thing. All right. So if, like, this isn't really a good example, but if you wanted to track this product, if Amazon had this in stock, and if I would, like I said, I bought these for $17.50 at Toys R Us. If Amazon was selling these for $17.50, I could click track this product, and I could get it to, send me a tweet or send me a Facebook message, or I could put my email in here, and I could get Amazon to, track this thing for me and it would alert me every time that this item went to $17. And so I know exactly when it comes in stock. I can get an alert on my phone. I could buy these, as many as Amazon will let me, and then I just wait until Amazon goes out of stock and I'll sell them at a higher price. You could actually do that with this Aquanauts figure. If it's going to go to $70 every time Amazon's in stock, you could set alerts for this thing if it goes, to $15 and do the same thing. But I would try to get them for $8 at Ollie's if I could first.
Where do you set these alerts, Greg? Is it on Keepa?
Right.
You have the paid version of Keepa?
This is that extension.
Yeah, on the extension. All right, so I'm looking at the price history. All right, so this tab where my cursor is on price history, and that allows me to see the Keepa graph. All right, if I click track product, this next tab, the graph goes away, and it allows me to input all my information where I want it to message me. So if I want it to message me just on Facebook, I could do that.
Wow.
Twitter handle, or email, where I can get several of these other things. All right, and they'll send me an alert when Amazon comes back in stock. Or it doesn't have to just be Amazon. So if some crazy person just dumps these for $20, a third-party seller, I could set an alert and have them tell me, hey, somebody's just trying to get rid of these to avoid storage fees or whatever, and I could buy them for a third-party seller if I wanted to and try to sell them somewhere else.
Nice, Greg. You get a lot of alerts on these, Greg?
The alerts don't work as well as I want them to. They were a lot better, I think, about a year ago, but I still do get alerts.
You still get them I mean, it's you might as well fill in your information, if you want to get an alert.
And I'll show you a little bit more in a little while where you can check alerts a little bit better.
Awesome.
A better place to check them. All right. This next tab that we're going to look at is called the data tab. And there's so much information here, guys. All right. It gives you very detailed information about all the average sales rank over the last 30, 60, 90 days, all the different offers. I think I've shared this before, but the ASIN and the UPCs are down here. So if like you need to find a UPC number for any item that you're looking for, like if I wanted, like if this item was available at Walmart and I didn't know the UPC, I could come to the Amazon product page, go to the Keepa data, find the UPC, and then I could take this UPC to BrickSeek and then plug it in and let me find it at Walmart or Target, wherever it's sold.
That's a monster.
That's the power strategy that Greg teaches in group. Oh, that is the power strategy. I never knew that this information even existed. This is like brand spanking new to me.
Yeah, this is gold right here. And to my knowledge, this is not behind the paywall. I think this is still part of the free Keepa information.
Yeah.
A lot of times you need to know, weights and dimensions for Amazon, for whatever reason, most of the time it's going to be here. If it's here on this page, it's already needed. But if you need it for whatever reason, all that kind of information is down here. All these like different hyperlinks take you to these pages. Like you could take it. This will take you to Chewy's toy chest page, and you can look at all of that seller's product. This next thing I'm going to show you is insane. All right, so we're underneath the data tab and we're looking at the product details. But if I click on this offers tab, all right, what this is going to do is it is going to show me in live time all the different sellers and what they're doing with their price history. All right. So if there's some, so all of us have experienced a race to the bottom where a seller just tanks the listing and the price plummets and everything. With Keepa, you can actually tell who it is.
All right? Man, right. Lance, is it you?
All right. So I can look and see. I can look and see that this guy right here, he's had his at $54, and within the last couple of days, he's lowered it to $48. Chewy's toy chest that we just mentioned, he's actually been holding them at $100 for the last several months. He's like me. He thought that these things were going to go to $100. He's been holding out, and he realizes now he's got to get rid of them to, get some of his capital back or whatever. And he's just recently, in the last couple of months, he's lowered his price. All right. So, I mean, this is just, like I said, it's powerful information, guys. You can understand what other sellers are doing. Looks like most of these are putting their price down, but you can see other sellers putting them up. And it gives you all kinds of information of, who they are, what they're doing, all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty cool. You can do that. All right. I should be an affiliate for Keepa and earn some money for, promoting it, but I don't do that. But I just, keep on telling you guys, use it. It's powerful. It'll make you a lot of money. All right. And these are just, normal settings and stuff. If you look at the bottom of the Keepa graph, all right. So going back to price history, going back to the graph. All right. We can go down here to the community tracking, all right, where my cursor is. The community tracking lets you know how many people are tracking this product, all right? And it tells us that 50 people are tracking these Coco guitars worldwide, all right? This next thing I'm going to tell you is how you get around paying for Keepa and still able to see the sales rank, all right? So if you're like, Greg, I don't want to pay $17 a month to see a green line, all right, and I still want to know the sales rank. There's still a way for you to get it for free. You just won't be able to see this very valuable information here at the bottom. I'll turn this off. You won't see the sales rank, but if you go right here to this next tab right here, you can see the average sales rank for what it is, the lowest, the last couple of hours, You know, it gives you the last 90 days sales rank, the last 180 days, how many times it goes, you know, how many times that it drops per month. All right. All this information right here is still free on Keepa. So you won't be able to see it, you know, live, like in a line and a nice, pretty graph, but you can see, you know, and it will tell you, you know, the average sales rank of an item if you still want, if you want to use that. All right. This is something, this next tab is something that I haven't taken advantage of. But Barrington, I think this is right up your alley with selling.
I need to jump on that.
Here we go. Here we go.
You can compare what this thing is doing over the different international platforms. All right. So you can see that most everyone is around the same, but over, I guess that's maybe India. All right. $223. And maybe that's a different one. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. All right. But you can compare these prices to the different Amazon platforms, and there's nothing against you selling, you know, but maybe buying from Amazon or a third-party seller in the U.S. and selling on a different platform in a different country for a huge markup.
You know? Is that U.S. dollar they're converting that to?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Wow, that's awesome. How's that? Do I sound better, Barrington? You said
you're good. You're good, Lance. You know, we did that before. We did it with Sonic the Hedgehog. We bought Sonic on .com, Greg, and we sold it on .co.uk. We bought on .com for like $7 or $10, and we're selling in the UK for about £59.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I said, like, you know, not every country has the access to all the different items that the U.S. has. And if it's a really hot item in the U.S., you can almost guarantee that it's going to be a really hot item, you know, elsewhere, and especially around Christmas time. And you'll get even in, you know, more insane prices in other parts of the world. All right, but you got to kind of prep way ahead of time to make sure you have your stuff in stock. All right. Any questions about any of the different tabs around the graph? All right. Does anybody have? You want to pause here and just take a few questions before I go into show you the .com side of
Jerry was asking. Oh well, it's a different question, but Jerry Young was asking, did the Ryan's eggs have an expiration date?
Not that I know of. It was a toy. It wasn't any kind of food item. I think all of it. I think there's just a bunch of little junk toys in the middle of this thing that it's like the excitement of the toy is actually opening it. That's what people are paying for, is like you get a chance to win a play date with Ryan and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, nice. Let me see if there's any other.
And these, I mean, I'm looking right here, the blue one. I've seen this blue one in Walmart recently. You can get it for $35. It's at $60 right now. I mean, that's pretty much break even probably after a lot of the fees, but good chance of a spike around Easter if you want to try that one. Any other questions around?
Annie was asking if you could show how to set the alerts again.
Yeah. All right. Is tracking overview page. Oh, nope. Not the right thing. Oh, messed up. All right. So if I want to go and track this product, all right, I'm already doing it for that one. Let me see here. All right. So I'm not tracking this one. All right. So if I wanted to track this product, all I would have to do is I could tell it, you know, say I want, this is a Walmart exclusive, so Amazon's not going to come in stock, but just for pretend, if Amazon was the seller of this item, it normally sells MSRP at $35. I could input $35 right there and have it start tracking, and it would tell me when it would go to all the different, you know, my email, Twitter, Facebook, all that kind of stuff. And see with this one, I don't think I'm tracking this one either. All right. If I click on this right here where it says switch to increase tracking, so like with my buy and hold strategy, if I want Amazon to tell me when it gets to a certain price, All I got to do is switch this to decreased or to this price or more. And if I say I don't want to sell this thing for under $100, I could do the exact opposite. I could put $100 in there, and it would alert me when it got to $100, and then I would know when to send it in and when to sell it. Does that answer the question? All right. Any more questions about this before we move on to the Keepa website? All right. If not, I'm going to move on to the Keepa website. So that was all the Keepa Chrome extension. All right. So I'm going to take you guys to the Keepa website if I can get it pulled up. All right. So this is just keepa.com. If you want to, this is it's very confusing at first to kind of get it adjusted to. All right. But this is basically just tracking all kinds of items on Amazon every single day, every single second. And there's all kinds of filters here that you can play around with and everything. But this is what I like to do. I like to set my deal type to new because I don't want to sell used products or anything. I want new products. Some people just leave it on Amazon, but you're missing out on some really good deals, in my opinion, if you don't just click new. So I just leave it at new right there. A lot of times I don't like to go more than a week. Every now and then I look at it in a month. What that means is the week means these are all the deals that Keepa has found on Amazon within the last week. So I can set it to within the last day, within the last month, within the last 3 months, or all time. All right. So a lot of times you want to look at the day because that's the most recent information. You have a better chance of actually getting the product, finding the product in stock. If you wait more than a week, a lot of times the deal's already gone. It's already been scooped up. You don't have a chance to buy it. All right. So I like to keep it around a week. I like to set my range. I want to see at least a 50% drop in price. I can set it for a lot less. I can set it for more. But usually if I'm getting it for at least 50% off, then I have some kind of margin to play with. If I'm looking at stuff that's only dropping 20%, then there's no margin for me to buy it from Amazon and then send it back in and resell it. All right, so I want to look at least 50%. That's just my personal preference. And you can set the range for how much dollars you want it to drop to, and you can apply all these filters. I leave all these filters off, except I don't look at the adult items. All right, in this case. All right, so and then you can look at any category that you want to up here. All right. You guys know me. I love toys and games. That's what, the category that I'm most familiar with, have the most knowledge of. And so that's what we're going to look for tonight. All right. So what is showing us is showing us the item. It's showing us the percentage off, the average price, the new price that it's selling for. And it's just, for the last week, all these different items, there's been some kind of drastic price change on Amazon. All right. There's another way to filter this information. I could view this as a table. All right. And it's a little bit more jumbled up, in my opinion. It's not as clean. It's just a lot of information. That's why I like to view it as the product boxes. All right. And we're going to look at this one real quick. All right. This shark bite. This one has a little bit of opportunity here. It's selling for $10 right now. You can see that it recently was selling for $23 back around Christmas. It spiked all the way up to $35. Mid-October, it was going for $40. All these different times where it goes out of stock. And if you're buying and holding, if you're buying it down here for 10, where Amazon is right now, you can make some money when Amazon goes out of stock. All right. One important thing that I want to show you is the more historical data. All right. And this is valuable information and helps you understand what you're looking at. All right, let's look at the year or all time. All right. So if you're in my group, you know that I like to see consistent spikes over time. And we can see here that in Q4 of 2017, this item spiked to $30, which if we're buying it for 10, we're making 100% ROI, which is a good thing. All right. It also spiked just last Q4, just a few months ago. All right. Also spiked at $30. All right. But what I want to point out is that look at this seller's graph right here. All right. You see where the offers count basically disappears for a day. All right. I like to call that Amazon being Amazon. All right. There's something in the Amazon algorithm that made it mad that day. Maybe this thing requires a battery that's AAA and somebody accidentally put that it takes AA and Amazon didn't like it. And so they shut down the listing for the day. Or this could be an IP claim or whatever made Amazon upset that day. Everybody was dumped off the listing and, the price shot up overnight. All right. This is kind of like a false positive. I'm not sure that if the number of sellers were able to stay on consistently, that this would have spiked the way it did. All right. So just FYI, if you're considering this as a purchase. All right. Let me see if I can get back. All right. Let's look at a few more. All right. We're not going to, let's see. Let's look at this one. If you know, these things went insane. I believe it was last summer or the summer before. They were selling for insane amounts of money, $50-something. They were going for $70 when they were brand new to market. Somebody today was selling them for $17. All right, which is not a bad price if it's consistently selling for 40-something, but it's kind of heavy. All right. I got a couple bolos I was going to share with you guys from this page. First, another learning opportunity. All right, so this is a good opportunity just to learn that sometimes on Keepa, it can't differentiate if it's a really good deal or not. All Keepa is doing is looking at the data that Amazon gives it. All right, so at first glance, this Ryan's World laser tag set for kids, it looks like an awesome deal because it's saying that the average price is $117. It's 70% off and it's selling for $35. All right, but when you look at this item, you can see that it's pretty much brand new to market, and somebody was just listed it for $150 just because it hasn't sold for that price. All right, but somebody with more common sense listed it at $35 because that's a more reasonable price that it's actually going to sell at. All right, so you got to be careful with some of those on Keepa. Sometimes they'll, Amazon will sometimes jack up the price really high and then drop it really low to gain attention on the listing, and the same things for other sellers. All right, so you just kind of make sure you're not just jumping to buy something just because it's 70% off. You got to make sure that you're looking at the data correctly. All right, if we look back over the last month, all right, let's see. This one kind of stood out, I believe. Yep. All right, so around Valentine's Day, this toy was selling, in the $80 price range, 40-something dollars. Amazon just came back in stock for $17. It did it at Christmas too. It shot up to $60 at Christmas. It did it last Christmas. It shot up to $40 last Christmas or 2017. All right. It did it back in 2016 as well. All right. So this would be an item that I would say that is worth, setting alerts for when Amazon comes into stock. All right. And buying and holding for Christmas, because for the last 3-4 years, every Christmas, this item has shot up into at least $40 range.
Now, Greg, this is where I get a nice picture of what you're talking about, because I'm looking at, as you just mentioned, the spikes. The spikes are going to tell me that at this particular time, which all we can see now, it's all Q4 down in the Christmas time, there has been spikes. And you are saying this is a good indication. This is a good product to buy and hold, because obviously you're working off buying it at a good enough price so that you can capitalize when you do the spike. So this is a nice example of a product that you can buy and hold for later on. I love this example.
Yeah, and I mean, this is simple economics playing out. I mean, this is why it's important to pay for this bottom graph here. You can see that number of sellers just drops off because there's so much demand at Christmas, and the price shoots up. Happens again right here. Number of sellers goes down, price shoots up. You know, it's just repeat, repeat, repeat. And you know, if you're sitting pretty or at that right time, then you can make some good money. All right, there was a couple more I was going to show you.
Someone was asking, Greg, how do you see the Keepa chart in the store if you have an app?
I'm going to show you that on my phone here in just a second.
Got you. Nice.
All right. Let me see. I can't remember if this one was a good one or not. All right. So this one doesn't, is actually selling pretty well. All right. It's got a sales rank of, 30,000, and it was selling for $105. I mean, that's a really good price. And somebody within the last week, another third-party seller is selling it for 45. There's nothing in the Amazon terms of service that says that you cannot buy from one seller and resell it. There's a board game that I do that with pretty much every year at Christmas, where people sell it for way cheaper than they should all year. I buy them up all year, and then I sell them at Christmas for 3-4 times the price.
I think Amazon does that with us, warehouse deals.
Yeah, it's the same thing. There's another. See if I can find it.
And all these deals are on the Keepa site, correct?
Yeah, all this is free. Like you said, you just got to take the time to go through the information. We looked at that one already. All right, this is one I probably sold 100 of these things over the last 5 years or so, especially in my part of the country where everything's kind of rural. You can find these, leapfrog books in rural Walmarts all over everywhere, just, collecting dust. Most of the time they're on clearance for $3-4 and everything. I flip them for like all these historical price points, 25, 24. But it looks like that somebody within the last week just came in stock and is selling this for $9. And if you're buying it for $9 and selling it for 30, then there's good margin there. Like I said, there's nothing that says you can't buy it from another seller if it's in new condition and sell it in new condition. All right. So there was another one that Amazon had in stock themselves. It wasn't a third party. I was going to show you guys. There we go. All right, this like alien toy. All right, it doesn't sell that great. I mean, the sales rank is in the 200 range, but it's selling for $64. That's a really good price point. Here it's selling for 75. Not as well. You can see the Keepa graph right here. When it does that, that's indicating that nobody's buying it, but somebody bought it right here for $70. All right. Over the last, over the course of its history, the price has gone up, up, and up. All right. And within the last day or so, it looks like over the last 2 years, Amazon has never been in stock. But if we look at the last week or so, Amazon has come in stock and is selling for 23. All right. So you can actually buy this one from Amazon for 23. And if you're patient, you can sell this thing in the $60 range, probably, over the next few months. I wouldn't go too deep on this one. Don't buy a whole lot of them because the sales rank isn't that great. But this is just an example of, again, the kind of stuff you can find with Keepa and the kind of flips that you can do with just, doing simple OA, buying from Amazon and selling back on Amazon. Any questions about any of that?
I saw there were a few questions. Someone, okay, she was really regarding the app, but she said she figured it out on your phone. You would have to go on the phone. And if you guys are not a part of Greg's monthly mastermind group, we are doing a special. It's $7 for 7 days. You can try it out, $7 for 7 days. I'm going to put the link right in there. It's right in there on the screen. And not only does he talk about Keepa in detail, you can pop your product in there and ask him, hey, what do you think about this? Because that is a smaller, more concentrated group. It's on WhatsApp. So there's the link, buyandholdm.com. You can check that out. It's $7 for 7 days, or you can check out the trial. And afterwards, it's like $267 for 3 months. But this is where you get a team, persons that are talking about the same thing over and over all day long. So this is something that can really help you to supercharge your business. I know that BrickSeek and Keepa have been like eye-opening for me. I never knew all this kind of stuff until I was in that group, especially with BrickSeek, because I really hate running to the stores. I can tell you that. I want to know that I'm going to the store to find something. I hate just running to the stores for nothing. But with Greg's strategies, especially on BrickSeek and Keepa, knowing what to buy, and then, okay, how many is at the store for you to go pick up? These are strategies that can add to your bottom line. So you definitely want to do this. Greg, were you going to show how to go ahead and pull it up on your phone? Did you have your phone to demo it?
Yeah, just a minute. I was going to show you just like two more things.
Okay.
Right? I'm not going to be able to show everybody because I'm not going to give away all my secrets. All right. But if you look at the my cursor here at the very top of the screen, there's different things you can click on. If I click on this track right here, if I click on tracking overview, it's going to give me an overview of all the products that I'm tracking on Keepa. All right, so I can look at all of them at one time. I don't have to go to the individual product page and look at these things. I can go find any item that I'm tracking. So I've got items, that I've been tracking for 2-3 years. I can, just go to that overview page and find them and see what they're doing and everything. And it'll tell me how much, recently how long, or right here actually recent notifications. It'll tell me like how recent it's notified me of a price change. This app's little tab right here is just telling you what where you can find Keepa as a browser extension. There's no really information there. This data one is behind the paywall. This is something that you only get with paying for the subscription. And this stuff right here is super valuable information. I'll be honest, I have not tapped into its full potential, and I'm not going to go through a demonstration because it's going to take way longer than we have tonight. But just for example, if I go to this product finder, I could filter Keepa to tell me all the toys that are under 100,000 that have a price of $100 or less, and I could actually get it to filter only the items that only have one seller. All right, and what I would be doing that for is I'm actually finding really hot private label items. All right, private label is something that I'm starting to branch into, that I want to learn about in 2019, and Keepa actually can tell me what other people are private label just by filtering out that information. All right, if I go to click find products, it would do all that for me in just a matter of seconds, and I could see within any category what I wanted to. So that's super powerful information. The product viewer, this is just kind of the same thing. Looking at different products, you can compare different products. The bestseller list is kind of like your top 100 or top 200 toys or top whatever in a category that you can do on your Amazon app, but it's just a lot more information together. This top seller list, this is kind of cool. If you've ever wondered, who is the biggest dog in the Amazon platform, this actually gives you a list of all the top sellers that are selling on Amazon currently. All right.
Lance, is that you at number 12?
I wish. I notice every one of these people though, man, because I've seen them on all my listings, especially when I used to sell books. Go Hastings was on everything.
Yeah. So I mean, this is kind of cool. You can kind of look at what these big guys are selling stuff for, and you see what categories that they specialize in. All right. This category tree real quick is real cool. You can look at, like I said, I'm starting to branch into private label and trying to learn how to do that kind of stuff. But if I wanted to do toys and games, I may find that I could go to all the different, subcategories of toys, and I could find which one maybe has the least amount of competition and the number of products that it has offered. And that would be a niche that I might pursue for private label. And you can do this with any category that you want to. All right, like I said, but it just takes the time. It's a matter of just taking the time to dive into it.
Wow, Greg, this is so nice, man, because I remember we used to have to do the brackets in the search bar to get the number of products, and then that kind of went away. So this is another way to pull those up again.
Yep. All right, and then this last thing, this search is just you can search any kind of UPC or ASIN here, and it'll bring up a Keepa chart. I'm going to show you how to do that on your phone. All right, so I'm going to, Barrington, you mind shutting my screen down for a second while I get this pulled up? I'm gonna attempt to get my phone up. Oops.
I'm gonna type now. If you are interested to check out Greg's group, it's gonna be www.buyandholdem.com. And that will give you a $7 7-day trial for all of what's going on here. You will be able to look at different strategies, see how to use Keepa effectively, ask your questions specific to the products that you have. And what we want to do now, after Greg gives us the phone demonstration, we're going to be going into the Q&A. So do you have a product that you want Greg to look at live and just give you information as to whether or not this could be a potential good candidate for buying and holding? You can post that ASIN in the chat and we'll pick it up.
Barrington, while he's getting that phone set up ready, you know who benefits the most off this group? You could probably take a guess, right?
Oh, yeah. We do.
Me.
Man,
every day.
You're in the stores, man.
I'm telling you, man, like the deals that are shared in this group, every day there's Greg sharing. There's also like a bunch of deals that the people that are in it are sharing.
I mean, Greg shared a deal, Lance, and I'm here in Jamaica. And this works for anybody across anywhere in the world. I'm here in Jamaica, and he shared a deal in the group. And I went to Walmart.com and I bought 100, sent it to the UPS store. They're holding it for me. And Greg is like, listen, you're going to send this in on October 7th. I'm holding this until October 7th because it was a really good price. There's a price that, there's no way not to buy it. Really good price.
You got to document it, Barrington, when you send it in. Just document the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I think I'm ready, guys.
All right, Greg.
Come back.
Okay. Go ahead and you can take the screen.
All right. Can everybody see my phone?
Church. He does go to church. He's not lying.
Number one.
Are you able to see his phone screen? Can you tell us in the chat?
Everybody know if they can see.
One in the chat if you can.
A charge phone too. Wow.
Yes. Greg, we're ready to rock and roll. We're seeing ones and yes.
All right. So, like I said, if you're not looking at Keepa graphs in the store, guys, then you're missing a lot of information and you're missing out on opportunities. All right, because when you're in the store.
Quickly, Greg, before you get into this, someone asked a good question in tandem with what you're going to talk about now. Like, how long do you spend on any particular product? Like, you're in the store, how long do you spend in analyzing before you're going to make a buying decision?
Quite honestly, it used to take me forever. My wife used to complain every time we went into Walmart because we were there for 3 hours. But now, it's very efficient. I pretty much, with BrickSeek, I know what I'm looking for first before I go in there. And then when I do find stuff that I'm, not planning on finding, with looking at Keepa and stuff, I've gotten, to the point where I can do it pretty quickly. And I'm in and out in relatively a short amount of time, depending on if I have to get somebody to find something for me or how long the checkout line is, because there's only 2 cash registers open, all that good stuff. All right. So, if you don't know how to get to Keepa, First of all, I'm gonna show you the free way to do this. All right. So if I go to business here, Keepa does not have an app. All right, but you're probably wondering how in the world did you get that Keepa app on your phone? It is not an app. It is basically a website shortcut. All right. So what I want to do is, if you want to do this on your phone, all right, if you go to Keepa.com, all right, if you have an iPhone, if you look down here at the bottom where this like little square is, where the arrows pointing up, if I click up on that and I scroll over and I have that button right there in the middle where it says add to home screen, and I click add at the very top, all right, it's going to add Keepa to my phone. Now it adds at the very back of my phone where I keep all the junk that I don't want to see. All right, but I've actually already have it here in my business folder. All right, you can go here and with Keepa.com, you go to the little tab on the three lines on the left-hand corner, and you can search. And if you're in store, you can type in a UPC right here, and you can bring up any Keepa chart that you want to. All right, for free. Now, if you want to see the sales rank and the number of historical graphs, you'll have to log in and look at it there. But you can look at any Keepa chart for free just using Keepa.com in store. Most stores have free Wi-Fi now, so you should be able to get it. All right. If, a lot of times when I'm in the groups, people share deals in the groups. Several of you guys are in the BOLO groups, the yearly BOLO groups, and you just have an ASIN, and you want to find, you want to look at it a little bit deeper, or you're looking at a product page. All right. So in case you don't know, all right, there's an ASIN at the bottom of every Amazon page within your app. All right. So if I go to my Amazon app, and if I go to add a product, or if add a product. All right, so if I want to go to those Coco guitars, all right, if I scroll down and in the features and details section, all right, if I click on features and details, all right, there at the very bottom is the ASIN, all right. You can actually just hold your thumb on the ASIN and it'll pop up and you can copy it, all right. I really like to use Scoutify, which is Inventory Labs app, and I can paste the ASIN into my Inventory Lab app or Scoutify app. It just gives me a little bit of information that I can look at there. And from the Scoutify app, I can hit research, and I can search any of these different things, but I just hit Keepa and it takes me to Keepa.com where I can look at the graph there. All right. So a lot of times in stores, I'm not doing all those different steps. A lot of times I'm just going ahead and scanning with my Scoutify app. I'm already logged into Keepa most of the time, and I'm just going straight to the app, to Keepa.com from my Scoutify app. All right. But like I said, it's really simple. It saves me a lot of time. Any questions about doing this on your phone in store? Like I said, it doesn't have to be hard, guys. It doesn't have to be intimidating. The website is not as mobile friendly as I would like. BrickSeek is a lot more mobile friendly, but you can do the same for BrickSeek. You can see I have BrickSeek saved. BrickSeek is not an app either, but I have the shortcut to the website there as well. But any questions about doing this on my phone?
Yeah, well, I see. Let me see. Hold on. There's some questions here in the Q&A. No, we wanted to clear something up. People are asking, is it okay to buy on Amazon from Amazon and sell again? Doesn't Amazon have a problem with this? Yeah, you're never going to buy using your Prime account. Never, never, never buy with your Prime account for resale on Amazon. You never want to do that. What Greg was talking about, what I was talking about is I would buy on Amazon and then sell in a different Amazon marketplace, like sell in the UK. So you never, ever, ever want to use your Amazon Prime account to make purchases and then turn around and then go ahead and sell it on Amazon. very, 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 that's going to be a wrong thing to do because Amazon track those kind of things. So make sure that you're not doing that. So we just wanted to clear that up. Never use your Prime account to buy and then turn around and resell it, use your selling account. You never want to do that.
You can use a business account that you have set up, or you can use any kind of non-Prime account. All right. So that's just, just a regular account. You can still get free shipping if you order something over $35, which most of the time you are because you're ordering multiples of something, and you still get the free shipping. It just takes more than 2 days to get it. But it is perfectly legal in Amazon's eyes, I guess you could say, to buy from them and then sell back on, the FBA. All right. Any other questions?
How much does Keepa cost? I thought it was free on Inventory Lab.
Keepa is a German based company, so everything is in euros. It's 15 euros a month or 150 euros a year, which equates to $17 a month or $170 a year. But I was telling Barrington before the webinar started that I would pay much more than $17. I can't believe it was free for all these years that we've been doing it. I would, like I said, I'd pay more than $17, and $17 is a steal. But there are ways around it. Like I showed you earlier, you can still see the sales rank information for free. You can, do that. I haven't dived into it. I'm learning more about helium-10. I do hear that helium-10 has a comparable graph and extension that shows a very similar chart to Keepa. And I think with the free version of helium-10, you can actually see that. So that might be something to explore, but I haven't personally done it myself.
And also, we're going to be bringing on, we're going to be getting a lot of tools for you guys. So we're going to be bringing on Inventory Labs on March 27th, and they're going to teach us how to use their product. And Greg told you guys that Inventory Labs is like his number 3 tool. So that is something that if you're not in Inventory Lab to create your listings, create your shipments, track your products for, how much you're making and stuff, they will be coming on live with us on March 27th. They're going to demonstrate their product. So make sure you book that date. And also we're looking to bring on Helium-10 maybe next month to demo their product and how it works. So we're always looking out for top quality content for you guys, and we're going to make sure that we get those guys on here so you can see that the tools that we use, it's easy for us to recommend tools because they're ones that we use and they work. So we're going to recommend them to you guys, our audience. Shaxi was asking, what is the buy and hold strategy? Greg, you just want to briefly go through that? What is your buying and holding strategy?
Yeah, so like I've mentioned many times before, I'm not a full-time Amazon seller. I do this part-time around a couple other jobs that I do. And so it just kind of developed from that, in that I wanted to maximize my time and I wanted to maximize my profits. And so I really dive into Keepa charts and look at the sales history of different items that I'm buying. And then I just wait to sell until the optimal time where I can maximize the profit. So like some of those items we were looking at earlier, I buy low, and when everybody else rushes on the listing and the price tanks and, the price goes really down and, everybody's panicking because it's a race to the bottom, I'm just sitting it out during that time. I just kind of just take my, I'm patient during that time. And once a couple months goes by and people are, panicking because they got to get them sold and get their capital back, and they have to, avoid fees and stuff, that's when I send in my product and I sell it, with less competition for a higher price. So I do that all year long. My favorite time to buy stuff is January, when everything's on clearance at the big box stores, and then in the summer when everything's on clearance in the big box stores. And then I just sell everything during Christmas. Everything, spikes at Christmas time for the most part. And for the most part, I have stuff that I bought in January that nobody else has anymore. And I'm able to, get really good prices for those things.
Okay, cool. Jerry asked, have you ever asked a store employee to look for a product in the back of course, not stating you know it's there. Wink, wink.
Oh yeah, all the time, all the time. And I teach people in the group how to find stuff in the back of the store too, with some of the strategy we talked about with the brick seek and how to do that on your phone and all that kind of stuff. So yeah.
And yes, someone was just asking, yes, Keepa now requires a paid $17 a month subscription for their platform, and that is for particular data. Greg was just showing us before all the data, good data that's still available for free, but there are some things like sales rank that you have to pay. That's behind the paywall, so you have to pay. But I mean, the information is so good that it's worth the $17. Remember, guys, if you're going to be buying tools for your business, make sure that it's something that's going to be effective. When you use it, you're going to be making money. If you're spending $17 and making $1,700, you never see the $17. So that is why we buy tools. Do you ever check on that $39 that Amazon takes out of your account every month for the Amazon subscription? No, unless you're making $100 on your Amazon store. You're never going to check that because hey, my potential is thousands of dollars. So I'm not going to check the $39 Amazon is taking from me. So make sure that any tool that you purchase is something that's going to add to your bottom line. It's going to make it much better for you.
I saw a read double checking about buying products on Amazon.com and reselling them. It's definitely not against the terms of service to buy from Amazon themselves. Now, buying from another seller may need to double check on that. Like I said, I don't claim to know everything, and that's not something that I don't do often. If I do buy from another seller, a lot of times I may sell it locally on Facebook or those other different platforms first. But definitely I buy from Amazon themselves all the time. Amazon is just another retailer, just like Walmart or Target, or any other big box store. Buying from Amazon, as long as you use a non-Prime account, you're good to go.
And Tom was just asking what you get with the $7 trial. You get access to Greg's Mastermind monthly WhatsApp group where he shares all these deals and strategies every week. You can get, different things that he's buying, different things that he recommends. And if you have a product that you're not sure, like, hey, is this a good candidate for buy and hold? You can ask him and, he analyzes it right on spot. Once he's available, he's going to analyze that product for you. And he's going to let you know, hey, this is a good candidate for buy and hold. So this is something that can really help to push your business, Tom. Thank you for that question. We're able to explain that.
Barrington, did you answer Jenny about are you able to see Keepa on your phone? I know Profit Bandit brings it up. Scoutify, or not Scoutify. What's the one with Ryan Stevens with Inventory Lab? That brings up Keepa really nice.
Okay. Remember Greg was just saying that he did the bookmark on his phone. Yep. So that's how he had it in his business apps on phone.
Yeah, he uses that. Yeah.
I used to use Profit Bandit. Profit Bandit would actually bring up Keepa within the app without having to bring up a separate web page, which I really, really loved. But for whatever reason, and it may have changed since then, but when I was using it, I could only get the Profit Bandit to show me a 3-month Keepa graph.
Yeah, me too, Greg.
And so 3 months is okay, but I need the whole picture to really make a good buying decision. And so I stopped using Profit Bandit for that reason.
Inventory's got a nice one where it has a nice clean. You can go check.
I think everybody wants to see one more time, Greg, how do you get that Keepa on your phone? How do you do that bookmark on your phone so it comes up like a little app on your phone? So guys, watch this carefully. And Jerry asks, is there a way to add sales rank data to Scoutify app? I'm not sure. It might need to email guys. All right. You could do a demo for us, Greg, on how to get that Keepa bookmark on your phone.
So I'm just typing in Keepa.com on my phone. And then at the very bottom where you see that in the very center of the screen, there's the square with the arrow pointing up. If I click on it, it brings up this screen. And then the very bottom, if I scroll to the right, there's a button that says add to home screen right there in the very middle. If I click on add to home screen, it'll add, and you can name it whatever you want to. You can say Keepa charts or whatever you want to call it, Keepa stuff, whatever you want to call it. And then you can add, and it'll add to your home screen. So you can see that I've added it twice in this webinar. So it's there.
Nice, nice. And guys, that is your go home tip. That is something that you have Keepa right there, just like an app. Annie said she liked how your apps are very nice and well organized.
I was jealous too.
I can't stand them all being on a different screen. So like I don't even have to look at that second screen. I got just all that stuff that I don't even pay attention to on that screen, and got everything on my home screen that I actually use.
Looks good, man.
Business stuff.
Like I said, if you don't like, so for a new seller that doesn't want to type in UPCs, all right, this is what you do. All right, so if you just have your Amazon app, all right, and you want to say you're scanning.
Hey, Greg, you just sold something else. Your money went up.
It went up. Greg went up.
Yeah. All right, so if you're sourcing a Lego or something, whatever, all right. Say you scan this at Walmart. This is actually, I didn't even try to do this, but this is actually looks like a pretty good, maybe a good Amazon flip. You can buy it for 28 and sell it for 50 on FBA. But you're going to go to features and details in the center of your screen. So you just scan this at Walmart. It's up on your Amazon screen. You're going to go down to the bottom where it says ASIN, and you're going to copy. All right. And then you're going to go to your Keepa that you just put on. You're going to go to search, paste, and there you go. There goes your Legos. And you can see.
Very nice.
Nice tight lines.
All right. You can see Amazon doesn't go out of stock often. It did briefly in January. So like for this one, if I was, like I said, if you're in the buy and hold group, I would probably tell you to pass because Amazon's pretty much all over this item. And they don't go out of stock as often as I'd like to see. So I would say that's a pass.
That's a pass. Nice one. Nice one. All right, guys. Thank you.
I got one more thing. It's going to be really quick. All right. If you're in the buy and hold group, we did a contest this weekend to see who was going to get a free Keepa subscription. All right. So I had them guessing a number between 1 and 1,000. And I'd like to announce the winner is Annie. All right. The number.
Wow. Eddie.
Wow.
The number we had was the number that we, like I said, the 777s. All right. 777s was the number that I was thinking of. Annie guessed 757. She was only 20 off of the number that I was thinking of. She was the closest without going over. All right. And so Annie, when this is over, if you would just direct message me your email address, I will send you $170 via PayPal.
Damn, Greg.
Man, we gotta top that, man. We gotta give an iPad away or something. We gotta top that.
I gotta play the song for that one. That's a big one.
Oh, Annie, that's a big one. That's a big one. I mean, I'm happy for you. Very nice. Very nice. All right, guys. I mean,
I appreciate you being part of the group, Annie. And like I said, just let me know.
So for anyone, guys, is this web, does it make sense? Does this information resound? Are you understanding this information? Give me a chime in the chat. Give me a chime in. Let me know. Is this information something that makes sense to you? Can you see how you can utilize? Excellent, man. Excellent. This is something you could definitely utilize in your business. We had almost 100 people on this webinar. We're getting a lot of yes, definitely. Thank you. And I'm going to post the link one more time. Buyandhold'em.com. You guys, it's $7 to try out the group. If you don't like it, then you don't have to continue. It's $7 to try it out. We want to make this as a no-brainer as possible. Jump in, try it out. I know you won't leave because the group is great. You are finding products that Greg always says, if you have an extra $500, just buy some items for $500, just hold it until Q4, make probably $1,500. This is like stock market stuff. Greg is going to write a book on this. He's going to write a book on this. Going to be ready for Q4. Greg, I'm putting you under some pressure. Yeah. He's going to be writing a book on this.
Now it's public, man. Gotta writing.
Man,
You're held accountable now.
Amazing stuff, man. This is amazing stuff. Greg, thank you so much again for coming on and sharing this content. If anything else, you have information that you can go out and take action on. You guys can go out and take action on this information. So even if you're not jumping in the group, you have information you can go out there and take action on. If you want to learn more, I just posted the link. I'm going to post it again. Again, we have a 7-day trial, and you guys can hop in there and check out what Greg is going on with his group. And this is something that can really help your business. And also you'll be able to get access to his other webinars, like the BrickSeek one, which is powerful. And Greg, when again do you say is the super big time for shopping for buy and hold? Is it like July?
Yeah, so we just passed one in January. January and like early February is just insane, the deals that are around in stores. But also July and August are the next big targets that we want to be looking at. Every now and then, like around Memorial Day, or not? Yeah, is it Memorial Day in May? Walmart will do like several clearance items then. But the big one is in July. That's when definitely Target will start clearancing items early in July, and they'll slowly mark them down every week, and they'll end up at the end of July, they'll be 70% off. And then in Walmart, they'll be 75, 80% off, and you'll be able to find stuff those last 2 weeks in July and like the first 2 weeks of August. You got to be in stores if you want to find some really good deals then.
Man, and if you're in the group, you will hear the deals. I'm always there waiting on the deals to come in, because this is like, boom, I got to go grab that. This is, and you know what, we're gonna record this. We're gonna show the numbers. We're gonna make this real for persons who are still on the fence contemplating. We're gonna make this real, like show you guys, listen, this is what we bought in January. Here's what we sold it for in November. We're gonna have the before and after. Again, thank you all so much for joining us. This has been great. I learned so much. I hope you guys learned a lot, and we look forward to bringing you good content like this. On Wednesday, we're going to have Abe on talking about private label. That's going to be big. The links are there in the Facebook group, so you can register. And then next week, Wednesday, we're also going to have on Inventory Labs, showing you guys how to use their software, how to make it work for you. So every month, we're bringing you great content. So send us an email, support@barringtonmacintosh.com, or post in Facebook. If there's something that you want to learn, let us know. We'll go out there, we'll find the experts, and we'll bring them on so you guys can continue to get the best content. Thank you all so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you guys back in the groups. Take care.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Craig.